Alrighty, so as that's draining there, next step is to take the CV axles out. If you're doing a 4x4, of course you have to, or an all-wheel drive, not a 4x4. All-wheel drive, of course, you're gonna have to take off the gearbox assembly. But since this is just a front-wheel drive, all I have to do is take off the CV axles. Now, there's 3 bolts for this one. This is the extended shaft. There's 1, 2, and 3. I think that's it. Yep, there's nothing here. Those come out. Once you unbolt that last one, all this comes right out. Be careful. You may get some leakage from the transmission, but hopefully it's already all out right here. Now, since I did drive it a little bit to park it here, there may have been fluid that circulated, and I may be at risk of having transmission fluid coming out, and there's always residual, so just be careful with that. And then this CV axle should come out. A lot of the times I pull out the transmission with the other CV axle because that one's a pain in the ass to take off right here, but it's not impossible, of course, because you do have to be able to replace it without dropping the transmission every time you do CV axles. Alrighty, so we're taking off the manifold right now. You absolutely have to get the manifold off. We are going to take the starter off. The reason why the manifold has to come off and not just the catalytic is because once we get on there, if you have a torque wrench that can do 46 foot-pounds, it's about a foot long, that'll be great. You can probably get away with it, or actually smaller than maybe a foot. But anything like your AutoZone or Harbor Freight stuff has to be, you're gonna have to get rid of this, because once you start torquing the torque converter down, you got to make sure that you have enough room, and this definitely blocks you from achieving that. So that kind of sucks. It's easier if you just take off the manifold or the catalytic. I'm not about to go buy another torque wrench. I already have a digital, and 2 mechanical ones, 2 click type, and then a 1/2 inch. I don't need another torque wrench, but that would be great. Any torque wrenches that are small enough to fit in there don't have that capacity to measure out that much torque. So just keep that in mind, and that's why this is gonna have to come out. As far as it all goes, I put a bungee cord here to pull that harness, because that also gets in the way once you're tightening things out. And I think once I have those things out, I should be good to go. You can see right there, that's attached to the transmission. That's one of the transmission bolts as well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I take that one out and put it back in to just let this go. The reason why is because since it's part of the transmission, I like to put that into cardboard, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Alright, so at this point, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see, but all we're doing is loosening this bolt on the bottom here. This is, again, transmission bolt, or not, maybe. No, it's just not. No, it's not. It's not. There you go. Confirmed. It's not. Now, I did undo the manifold for the reason that it's easier to slide that one in. It's easier if they just come out in 2 parts as opposed to coming in one hole. But again, I just kind of want to emphasize, when I remove the starter, which are replacement bolts, because these are the ones I lost, those are the ones I broke. That's going to happen with that other manifold over there as well. But now there should be 2 bolts on the bottom for that manifold, and then the one on the side here that I didn't take off. All in all, I believe there are 6 bolts, maybe 7. I took off 4 on the top, so maybe just the 2 on the bottom then. So yeah, that's the small progress you make. Another thing before I forget, through here and bolted on here is your dipstick. It does have to come off to remove that manifold, because one of the bolts is right behind the dipstick. So as much as it sucks, it does have to come off for later purposes. I'll just set it on our tray there. Got another red cart. The other one's always full of crap, so I just decided that could be my full of crap stuff, and this is gonna be the job I'm working on until I fill it up with crap and I buy a third one. Alright, so the starter is out, the manifold is out, and this is what I mean. You got 3 bolts right there, 1, 2, 3. The shaft just comes out. Make sure you empty out the transmission fluid before you pull this, or else you're gonna have a driveway full of transmission fluid. So as of right now, next steps is to undo the mounts, the engine mount, transmission mount, 2 engine mounts, transmission mount, and once I have those unscrewed, I'm gonna also do the steering bolt, little peg that holds the steering column from just disengaging, I guess, from the power, or the rack and pinion, and then one of the power steering lines and one of these lines right here needs to come off. I have to chase it, see which one it is to make sure, but I'll shoot a video of that too.